In the heart of a wide African plain, where the wind carried stories older than memory itself, there lived a boy named Mako. His story begins on a night unlike any other. A night when the moon refused to shine, shrouding the earth in an unsettling darkness. The village elders, wise in the ways of the world, saw this as a bad omen, a shadow cast upon the boy's future. From that very first moment, the village watched him with a mixture of fear and suspicion. As Mako grew from a boy into a young man, strange and unexplainable things seemed to follow him like his own shadow. Wild animals, usually skittish and fierce, grew calm and docile in his presence. Gathering storms, which threatened to unleash their fury upon the land, would quiet their thunder and dissipate whenever he spoke softly to the sky. And his dreams were never ordinary. They were not the fleeting images of childhood, but vivid, powerful visions. Every night, Mako's spirit traveled to a place he had never seen with his waking eyes. He dreamed of a hidden valley, nestled beyond the jagged peaks of the distant mountains. It was a land of impossible beauty, a sanctuary where crystal-clear rivers flowed through lush, green fields. A soft, golden light bathed everything in a warm glow, and faint, melodic voices seemed to call his name on the wind, beckoning him home. When he tried to share these incredible visions with the people of his village, his words were met not with wonder, but with scorn and laughter. Some whispered behind their hands that he was cursed, a vessel for dark spirits. Others, more fearful, claimed he carried the spirit of misfortune, a bad seed that would bring ruin to them all. But Mako held on to his truth. Deep in his heart, he knew what he saw in his dreams was real. Then came the season of sorrow. A devastating drought fell upon the land. The sun beat down relentlessly, cracking the earth until it resembled a broken pot. The vibrant green crops withered and turned to dust in the fields. The wells, once a source of life and gathering, ran dry, their empty depths mocking the villagers' thirst. Fear, a far more potent poison than any drought, began to spread through the community like a wildfire. In their desperation, the elders looked for someone to blame, a scapegoat for their suffering. Their fearful eyes, searching for an easy answer, turned to Mako. Since he arrived, trouble has followed, they declared. His strange ways have offended the spirits of the land. Their whispers grew into a chorus of accusation, and the fear they felt for the drought was transferred onto the boy. One evening, as the last rays of the setting sun painted the sky in shades of blood and fire, the entire village gathered in the central clearing. There was no shouting, no overt anger, just a cold, silent judgment. Without mercy, without a single voice speaking in his defense, they banished him. Mako, now a young man, was cast out from the only home he had ever known. He walked away with nothing but the clothes on his back, a quiet courage burning in his chest, and a heart heavy with questions he could not answer. His journey into exile was cruel and unforgiving. The sun was a relentless enemy, burning his skin and blurring his vision. Hunger became a constant companion, gnawing at his insides and testing the limits of his endurance. But perhaps the hardest trial was the loneliness. In the vast, silent emptiness of the plains, doubt whispered on the wind, telling him he would never find his way, that he would perish alone and forgotten. Still, Mako pressed forward, driven by the faint memory of the Golden Valley from his dreams. Days bled into weeks, weeks stretched into months, and months turned into years. The boy grew into a man, his body hardened by the elements, his spirit tempered by solitude. He learned the language of the birds, the secrets of the stars, and the rhythm of the earth beneath his feet. One night, weak from exhaustion and on the verge of giving up, Mako collapsed. He had wandered for so long, he no longer knew where he was. As his eyes fluttered closed, he saw it. Tucked away in a fold of the earth, almost invisible to the passing eye, was a hidden valley. It was the very same valley from his dreams. The flowing rivers, the golden light, the sense of peace. It was all real. And there, in that sacred place, fate was waiting for him. He was not met with suspicion, but with gentle smiles. Elders dressed in pure white robes came to greet him, their eyes holding a wisdom that seemed as old as the mountains themselves. "We have been waiting for you," one of them said, his voice like the rustling of leaves. "You were chosen before you were born. Your village feared what it did not understand, but your journey was necessary to awaken the leader within you." In the sanctuary of the valley, Mako was taught the ancient wisdom of his ancestors. He learned how to listen to the whispers of the earth and understand its needs. He learned how to lead not with force or fear, but with compassion and understanding. He learned how to protect the truth, even when the world around him was built on lies. The valley healed his wounds, nurtured his spirit, and forged him into the man he was always meant to be. Years later, a man walked back towards the village he had been cast out from. He moved with a quiet confidence, his eyes holding the depth of 1,000 storms and the calm of 1,000 sunrises. The village did not recognize him at first. This was not the frightened boy they had exiled. This was a leader. As he entered the village, the land itself seemed to respond. He spoke calmly, and the harsh wind softened to a gentle breeze, as if it were listening to his words. He knelt and touched the dry, cracked earth, and a deep rumble was felt from below. The drought, which had held the land in its grip for years, finally broke. Clouds gathered, and a soft, life-giving rain began to fall. The village elders, now old and frail, fell silent. They saw the truth in his eyes and the power in his gentle presence. There was no anger in Mako, no desire for revenge. He looked at the people who had banished him, and he forgave them. He did not return to punish, but to heal. He offered them the wisdom he had gained, showing them how to live in harmony with the land once more. And on that day, the village learned its greatest lesson. Sometimes the one who is rejected is the one who carries the key to the future. Fear can blind people, preventing them from recognizing purpose and greatness when it stands right before them. True leaders do not return with anger and vengeance. They return with wisdom and forgiveness. And most importantly, what is meant for you will always find you, even if you must walk through the desert of exile to get there. If this story of Mako touched your heart and gave you a little hope, please help us grow our community. Our goal is to share the powerful wisdom of African stories with the world, and we need your help to reach 10,000 subscribers here on African Secrets TV. Please take a moment to like this video and comment below with your thoughts on Mako's journey. And if you know someone who needs to hear a message of hope, share this story with them. Thank you for listening. More powerful stories are coming your way very soon.